Today is a dark Tuesday. Now, I'm saying today is a dark Tuesday because originally I was supposed to be explaining about syncing the game. A future video that I wanted to talk about was what happens when you make it to the end of the game and you have everything to your disposal. You have absolutely every aircraft and there's nothing else to do in the game. What do you do then? That's what these videos that were planned were supposed to be talking about. It's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about a dark Tuesday. So at some point when you do reach the maximum level in Metal Storm the game, what happens in level 20 on an aircraft and also level 20 in your hangar. Once you get level 20 in your hangar, you have access to all aircraft that are available that have not been newly released. There's nothing else to really do in the game. And I've played mobile games for a very long time, and what happens is what some people will do, and especially in the previous game I played, CSR2 Racing, when a person got to a certain high level, they would say, hey, I'm going to form my own group and get a few people to go with them, and they would, do their thing. This is what happens in mobile gaming all the time, especially when you have a clan-like atmosphere or a squad-like atmosphere where it's multiple people and there's some high-end people, there's some people at the bottom, and then there's this middle, the gut people. Those are your hardcore workers, you know what I'm saying? And we're at this point, and the crew that I'm in, we used to be completely full. Now we're like this Mountain Dew dragon fruit. My wife got this here from the one of the local gas stations. Dude has nothing but freezers all around. This could taste good if it was fresh. But right now it is a little on the stale side. There's no fizz left in here. I can still taste it. And it's as dark as this Tuesday. One of the keystone people in the group, and a keystone is a person who may not be the actual leader of the group, but a person who is a strong player, a person who is a strong leader in some cases, a person who other people will follow, has decided to break away and go and get his own group. And that's totally fine. These things happen. And it's, me, like I said, there was going to be a video like this here, and I was going to have a banana where I talked about how when I used to work at UPS, I actually saw somebody, one of the bottom guys, just a truck loader. He was talking about bananas, and he was explaining how bananas going to go extinct because the chemical that they use to make the bananas no longer exists, and it's got diseases and stuff. And it's like we watched the same thing, and that's what he got out of it. He got a lot of good stuff out of it, but he got a lot of wrong stuff out of it. It was going to be a great video. But what I was gonna say in that video was, I miss the days when I was just a clerk like that. I miss those empty moments of just chatting and doing whatever, before I became a supervisor. And that's the way this game goes sometimes. Sometimes the game, it leads you to the top, and once you get to the top, you got to figure out, do you want to be the guy or gal that stays and just helps the crew, or do you want to build your own squad? And that's what's happening right now. We're in a reshuffling situation where half the crew is gone. And, one of the younger, newer guys is saying, what should I do? And the question is, I can't tell you what to do. I can definitely tell you that what's happening now will happen repeatedly in the future. At the same time, you have to pick what you want to do. Is the possibility of getting the 20 crate prize, is it worth trying to get, even though you know you may not get it? Or is it okay to just stay where I am or where you are right now? For me, in my situation, I'm at level 19. And I have 32,000 points already in, and I got to make it to 175,000. So technically, in another month and a half, I'm going to hit 20, and then it is what it is. So I'm okay with slowing down my progress. But the other guy, the newer, younger guy, it's like, this could disrupt his gameplay, and the commitment. It's so complex. And I'm talking to my coworker, and I'm like, it's just a game. It's just a game. But it's so crushing to get the inbox stuff and see all those messages. And I do wish everybody the best. I'm not going anywhere, and mainly because I'm at level 19. I've raced to this point. And while I'm at this point, there's no reason for me to get up and go anywhere else. I'm going to get enough resources from just gameplay. Having that 20 crate was just icing on the cake. That's all it was for me at this point. Just icing on the cake. Just, I think an extra 5,000 points. Silver, in-game cash silver was the bulk of what it was getting me. Everything else, I've pretty much padded myself. A lot of my aircraft have a lot of universal points built onto them already. I have not exercised the use of those points. I am reserving it because I'm just trying to, have fun, get a lot of aircrafts, and just really build up a good catalog of aircrafts. I don't want to yap too long about this here, but when a Keystone person leaves, you have to decide on whether or not you want to stay or not. And I get this whole thing about Keystone because I used to work in food industry, one job, 2 years. I will never do that again. But it was the first time I ever realized what a Keystone person was. I didn't have a name for it, but I just noticed it was something that would happen. One supervisor would leave. He'd quit. But sometimes before he or she quit, they would ask, hey, I'm leaving. You want to come with me? And, a couple of people will leave. And even in the retail place where I'm right now, my wife hates this here. She hates it so much. In every store that I've ever worked, everyone is like, how's it going? And we're like friendly and all the other stuff because I become a Keystone-like person. Like the glue that's in between everyone and just bonds people together. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at blending in, bonding with others, and finding some common ground where we can all kind of work together. Like ants trying to, eat a fortune cookie. That's what we're trying to do. We're ants, and we just want to eat that fortune cookie. And to get to it, it takes teamwork to open up this package. And it's tough when you lose a Keystone person. Because, I got asked, do I want to go? And the answer is no. I'm comfortable where I am. I have nothing to gain by leaving. By leaving, I'm just doing that old fashioned term. What's the term? Get a ball for this one here. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Now, I didn't realize what this term actually meant until I was a freaking adult. But basically, it's like you have a bird in your hand. In other words, you're belong to a team, and your team can already do some good work. But at the same time, there are two birds possibly in that bush over there. And sometimes you just want to be like Butters and go like, what's in that bush? You know what I'm saying? You want to look in that bush and see, are there really two birds in that bush? I don't know if there's two birds in that bush. It's shaking like there could be two birds in that bush. But I got one in my hand, but there could be two or more birds in that bush. Do you go for that bush? Do you go in there and see if there's a bird or two birds or three birds in that bush? That's up to you. But I got a bird in my hand. I'm going to look at that bush. I'm going to look at that bush shake. But I'm not going to go into that bush. Because just like when I worked at UPS, I was happier when I was just a FDC clerk, just doing out international packages. And my job was so simple. It was so simple. It was, you get box, you open up computer, you put this box in that truck if it's A through J going to Canada. Anything going around the world, first make sure that we can ship to that part of the world. Because we had some issues with Kuwait. Some couple of issues with Nigeria. And then when the security guys would come down like, did you just send the package to Nigeria? Like, yeah, I just sent the package. It was just closed. Oh, you need to let us see it first. There was a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. But at the end of the day, you always want and like the olden days when things were much more simpler. And right now, I still think this game is very awesome. This game is very young. This game is very simple. This game can be played in your pocket. I don't have to connect to my Xbox to play this game. I don't have to connect to, I don't have to put in a DVD or anything like that to play this game. I can just, be on lunch at work, sitting outside under a tree, nice gloomy day, because I need some shadows, and play the game happily with some headphones in my ear. That's the kind of thing I like. Keep it nice, keep it simple, keep it fresh. I'm rambling about the Dark Tuesday, which was today. For those who actually play Metal Storm, still play Metal Storm, the maximum amount of people you can have in your crew is 30. As of this video, I think we may have only 16 people left in the crew. So that's not a pretty sight. It's not the absolute best thing. I hope you did not see my password. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did not see my password. I'll have to gray it out. See? That's why I chose this drink here, because it's almost gone. My wife drank most of it. We are 16 people out of 30. Less than 24 hours ago, we had 30 people in the crew. And this is what we're down to right now. And this is for you, Grodd. Will things get better if you stayed? More than likely, yes. What are the multiple outcomes that could happen? The group could get so disbanded that we don't come back together again. That could happen. Also, they have not had an opportunity to build their group completely yet. So those who have left, even if they picked everyone that was available, that's only 14 people. So they still have to recruit more. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to do, I don't want to manage my own group, because I don't want to try to recruit. I don't want the management stuff. I don't want the headaches of basically micromanaging or babysitting a bunch of adults and young adults to play a game and try to encourage them to play a game. It's not an easy task. There are some people that are born to do this here, born to lead like that. And that ain't me. born to follow, kick back and have fun, play some games, win some rounds. I think that's the end of this rambling. I also think I'm gonna make this here a what is it? I'm gonna make this a black and white video or something really. I'm gonna use my LUTs. You know, most people don't make it 15 minutes in. So look, there's this whole weird thing. Whenever you see any of my videos, I use LUTs. And I used to call them loots because somebody else called them loots, but apparently it was never called loots. It was called LUTs all the time because if you put an S in front of it, it turns into sluts. And this person just specifically didn't want to use the word sluts. I don't mind using the word sluts. If some people love sluts, I love LUTs. You know what I'm saying? I use those LUTs to change the color of my skin. Sometimes it's darker, sometimes it's more red. You can do good things with good LUTs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get one of my LUTs, and I'm going to make this whole thing like a film noir, black and white, so the shadows are just all over the place. And I got my black and white on, too. It's going to be awesome. I'm thinking about how I'm going to post-produce this here. Am I going to use a lot of imagery? Nah. I'm not going to use a lot of color either. It's just going to be, like, awesome. It's going to be like a film noir thing. That's me doing French. Film noir. I got nothing else to say.